Japan and China should work together because these two countries are the major economies, not only in Asia but in the world. And recently, people are talking about the potential cooperations between these two countries because of recent tariffs by the United States to be imposed to all countries, even to Japan, which was supposed to be a closest ally of the United States after World War II. If you look at the Asian trajectory for development, you see that it's now centered in China and also in Southeast Asia. So these two important regions, if we can work together in peace, definitely we have better futures without strong reliance to the West. And let's talk about Plaza Accord. In the past, in 1985, Japan signed Plaza Accord with the United States, of course with other three nations from Europe, Germany, UK, and France. So with the purpose of devaluating or depreciating US dollars. Because at the time, the US dollars was too strong and they have to devalue it because it's too strong, which might affect their exports. So what they do is that they have been importing so many products from Japan and even from Germany because it's cheaper using the currency. And that's why they signed this accord, and eventually it was the biggest mistake for Japan. The reason of this Plaza Accord is to reduce the trade deficits with Japan, meaning United States with Japan, which is now what they are doing with China. Of course, the United States also want to sign this kind of deal with China, but the thing is that they can't do it, right? And because China doesn't have any obligations with the United States, and although now there are trade deficits, and they have no choice but to impose tariffs. Okay, that's what they are doing now. But in the past, in Japan, they signed and they faced the lost decades, meaning that they have been facing some kind of recessions and economic deflation for the past 20 or 30 years. So I might not be an expert in economics, but for the past 20 or 30 years, Japanese economy has not been growing. So that's very bad for a Japanese economy. Because after the Plaza Accord, Japanese yen became expensive and the export became expensive. So meaning that the chance for the local Japanese businesses to export goods to overseas is lower because it's more expensive to export to overseas. Eventually, Japan shifted to a domestic market and boost for domestic consumption by slashing interest rate and all these kind of measures to try to boost or motivate the local consumption. Okay, so it went off and just backfired, eventually just lead to so-called lost decades. Alright, so the situation is quite similar now in China, but the thing is that China, they can't do it because China is big and it's much more powerful compared to the past Japan. But China was not the case. So China is a totally independent superpower where now they are going to try to face off with the United States. If both China and Japan can work together, can sit down and work together, so that's actually the best part of the world where both countries can achieve synergies. And even with Southeast Asia, these three parts can come out with some kind of super synergies. Right? So the thing about this, by putting so much reliance on the market from the United States, we are putting ourselves at risk and we have to learn how to diversify and search for new markets, especially in Asia. So I do hope that these two countries can work together, and Prime Minister of Japan sent letters to Xi Jinping. I think this is a gesture or a sign of goodwill. So what if all these countries, even South Korea, can step up, okay, can do something about this, to talk about some kind of alliance between these two countries? That would be even better. What do you think about this? And if you like content like this, please don't forget to follow me so that I can make more content like this in the future. Let's hope that this will become real and it's good for Asia. Alright, see you on the next coming video. Bye bye.